Nothing went the way that any of us thought. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your November post portal soul session. I am Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And what's not, or whatever. So anywho, if you aren't familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are overall energy readings that are focused on spirituality and personal development, that I look at the experiences that you guys may endure for a particular month in order to offer you clarity as well as guidance, my friend. A little bit of tarot therapy going on, you know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into you guys' cards for the month of November. Happy birthday, by the way, Scorpio. Scorpio season, you know what I'm saying? Scorpio sliding and things, whatnot, whatever. But anyway, jumping right in. We got our central energy, our challenge, our past influence, future possibilities, your above energy as well as your below energy. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. So my ring light is malfunctioning. I got the remote here. It's probably gonna keep going out. It's been annoying me, but anyway, let's go ahead and get into your cards. At the bottom of your deck, we have the Star card, and that is Aquarius energy. So this is actually really good so far, Scorpio. What it's looking like in the month of November for my Scorpio people, it's more or less a sense of hope being restored for you guys. It's feeling a little bit more grounded and more balanced. It's really speaking to, man, this is so wild. Okay, this is gonna get deep already. All right, this is speaking to a couple of things. My wonderful Scorpio brethren and sisterin, my wonderful opposite sign. Okay, so, and this is making me think about the weekly reading that I did, and the energy for this week in particular, well, the first week of November, the 1st through the 7th. And the thing I was seeing is that it's almost like a deliverance via energy exchange. If I were to use an allegory to make this make sense, if we were to go back to the good old Garden of Eden, and you think about the two trees that were in the garden, right? There was the tree of eternal life, and then there was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Metaphysically, when you think of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is the tree that, you know, Eve ate from while Adam just was standing there, you know, didn't give nobody no heads up, but that's neither here nor there. But that's really speaking to the dyad of the 3D realm. So black, white, up, down, left, right, you know, the whole this or that concept, right? So it's why it made them aware of good and evil, proverbially speaking. So it's the realm of the dyad. Now, the tree of eternal life, of course, is talking about what this whole ascension path is about, immortality, if you will, but it's more or less in the construct of understanding that you aren't your body. So if we were to say that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is 3D consciousness, then we would say that the tree of life, in other words, is the ethereal consciousness, or as some call Christ consciousness, right? It's transcending the dyad, or transcending the 3D realm, if you will. This light just really hates me. It's transcending the 3D realm or your physical body, and it's coming back into union with oneself, or coming to the realization of your ethereal origins, or the fact that you are a soul that is having a human experience as opposed to you just being a human. And that's more or less when they say, like, the Star card gives hope. It's like, that's the greatest hope that one could have, in all honesty. It's coming to this realization that you are so much bigger, greater, and grander than you could have ever fathomed, and that there's so much more to life than what it is that we see every day in the 3D. I keep saying I'm gonna leave it alone, but I just can't, because I just want it to stay on. But anyway, moving right along. So that's you guys' underlying energy. So more or less we're talking about in the month of November, post-portal, which was on the 31st, is you guys coming into this realization. So to simply put it, it's more or less growing in your higher consciousness, attuning with your golden aura, or you guys in a mundane sense making a very epic shift in your life. But this shift or this choice or this direction that you all choose to go into is more or less motivated by hope. So it's hope being restored in some facet of your life, and you being motivated to go into said direction because of it. So your central energy, we have the 5 of Wands. That's my Petty LaBelle card. That's challenged by the 4 of Swords in the reverse. Interesting. And you guys, past influence, we have the 7 of Swords in the reverse. So first thing I want to say, coming out of October into November, Scorpio, and this really could align with the full moon and the portal, the 31st, blue moon, all that good stuff. For some of you, it's a couple of things. It's a truth that was revealed as the main premise of the vibration you're coming into November with. But this can manifest in a myriad of different ways. It's either a truth came out about you, and I feel that, how can I say this? I don't really feel it's something that you wanted people to know. It's almost like an exposed kind of energy, but it's not necessarily that somebody exposed you. Like I said, I don't want to give the sense of like saying that like you were doing something shady and you got exposed. It's like, I feel like maybe somebody, you know, told people or a person stuff about you that was spoken in confidence, if you will. And specifically with that, I feel this person would be somebody that you've known for some time. I don't know why I want to say it's a fire sign person, but it's a person that you guys have known. I mean, it could be an Aquarius, I don't know. But anyway, or an Aquarius person could have helped you out. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I feel this is a person you guys have known for some time that you needed to kind of cut ties with, like a person where you've had a lot of signs leading up into the latter part of October that really was bad for business, or just didn't have their best intentions at heart for you. There's also elements, of course, of theft here. The thing that could have been, so it's either something got exposed about Scorpio, or Scorpio, somebody else got exposed to Scorpio. So you guys found something out, is what I'm saying. And some of you, it may have to do with something that was taken from you, either somebody taking credit for your work, or someone lying to you, or something along those lines. Those of you where this doesn't relate to other people, it's more or less, the first thing I want to say is the buck stops here. So it's kind of, I always say with the 7 of Swords, what you skip will trip you up later, right? And I feel hearing the buck stops here, it's kind of something that you guys have left undone, or maybe something you didn't want to face, or something that you ignored. And I mean, another vibe I'm feeling, this could be something as simple as organizing. You know what I mean? Like getting affairs in order, getting bills in order, just something that you've been procrastinating on. I feel something transpired towards the ending of October, like the middle 15th to the 31st. Something transpired or was revealed to you or made clear to you where it was like, whoa, I really can't keep doing this. Like, I really can't keep going forward like this. Something needs to change, in so many words. But I feel with that coming into this present energy with the 5 of Wands, it feels like an energy, it's confrontation. For some of you, it's with other people. With others of you, it's literally just with yourself, because the vibe I get from this is like a person who doesn't like confrontation. However, it doesn't always have to be with other people. It can literally be something that's conflicting with your peace. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you have, I don't know, student loans, right? Like you have student loans, you know, you need to pay on, and you know, it's time for you to pay on them. This is just hypothetical, but it's like, you know, you find out at the end of October, they've reported you to the credit bureau, right? And the whole reason why you didn't look at your balance or you didn't want to pay it and you were just kind of pretending none of this is happening, you know, it's kind of like it got to a point to where, I don't know, because I mean, sadly, may do be like that. Like they froze your bank account or something, you know what I mean? Or reported you to the credit bureau. And now it's like coming into November. And the main challenge this month is that you have to confront this head on. And I say that for all of you, depending on, because I know y'all are in a myriad of different situations, but the whole premise with this is whatever it is that was either exposed about you or exposed to you, or that you kind of neglected, or something that was taken from you, there's this aura of avoidance. And it's almost as if now in November, one is being forced to face that which you tried to avoid, right? And the challenge is not to fall back into same old behavior, because with the Four of Swords in the reverse, that's looking to me like, again, disassociating, isolation, like this is not happening. I'm not here right now. I don't want to deal with this. So the main thing is that you guys facing this challenge this month head on with confidence and fighting through it, clearing it up, dealing with it, and not running from it is what the main challenge and lesson is this month, right? Because falling back into old behaviors, it's comfortable, it's safe. You don't have to deal with like this unease, you know what I mean? But it's kind of what keeps you guys going in the cyclical nature. So it feels more or less to me like this is speaking to, it's almost like if I were to say like deliverance, like I was saying with the star card and you guys underlying energy, it's more or less, and this is going to sound like hella lofty minded, but it's like if we went back to like the two trees, right? It's like ideally the place you would want to be is eating from the tree of life. And it's having been consistently eating from the proverbial tree of good and evil, right? Black or white, this or that. So it's like being stuck and limited in your options. I feel that you guys are being offered an opportunity to be transformed proverbially through the fire being the conflict. So it's almost being backed into a corner to where your only option is to disassociate, which I feel is the behavioral thing that has led up to this point, or it's like you facing it toe to toe, but that's the proverbial purification fires, if you will. So how it is that you get to where it is you guys are desiring to go so that you can embody this hope and start to manifest it into your physical experience is by facing this thing that you fear so much dead on, like looking it in the eye. For some of you, this is a person, situation, circumstance. Some of y'all is just literally your debt. You know what I'm saying? Your underlying energy, we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So the whole thing is this feeling of stuckness. It's like, I feel that almost for my Scorpio people, it's been a sense of like recycled energy and you guys getting to a place of frustration because it's like you're kind of over it. It's like how life has been up to this point. You're totally over it, but it's this element of feeling stuck and trapped, like you can't get out of it. And it's a old colloquialism that's coming to mind, but it's not clear enough to where I know that I would say it correct. But it's almost similar to if you face your fears, they disappear. But it's even deeper than that. It's something along the lines of the premise of it is the main thing that you're attempting to avoid, right? Like your biggest fear type of deal is in possession. And it makes me think of my book, actually, because I actually talked about this. I had a whole analogy about this in MF Twin Flames, where I talked about facing the demon. Wow, Scorpio, this is exactly that. Those of you, I'm putting that book back out. It's not available on Amazon right now. But those of you who do have it, go back and read that story because I feel that that's very relevant to Scorpios right now because that's exactly the vibe I'm seeing. it's being trapped in this place, because I likened it to like an apartment with no windows and no doors. They only got one door, and in order to get out that door, they got this big, ugly, creepy looking demon that you got to fight to get out the door, right? To like embrace your inner child in so many words. But that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like, it feels like you guys have been recycling old energy, and you've come to a place of frustration where it's almost trying every other way to get out of this, and none of it is quite working. And that's why with the Seven of Swords, I feel the buck stops here. So it's kind of like every method you guys have used in the past to try to heal situations similar to this, it's like that method is no longer useful to you, which is in essence, the 31st being a portal and all of this stuff. It's like, that's what that whole day really was about. It's all of us facing the Judas in the mirror and realizing our greatest enemy and betrayer is ourselves, and how it is that we keep ourselves stuck. And it's more or less the premise of that day was Spirit revealing to all of us something that we were doing, some approach to things, some antiquated mindset that needed to be released, right? And not to be brought forward into November or the rest of 2020 or into, 2021, because that thing has been your ball and chain that has been preventing you, like with the Six of Swords in the reverse, from living the life that you want or being able to enjoy your life. So it's almost as if, Scorpio, what this would be saying to me is that the one thing that you've avoided, the one thing you don't want to face, the one thing you don't want to talk about, the one thing you don't want to think about, that very thing is your deliverance. And it's more or less the challenge is being offered the same opportunity again. It's like this thing you don't want to face is in your face. Your challenge is to not disassociate from it, not run from it, and to stand up to it in so many words. But it's an assurance of you getting what it is that you desire. It's like everything that you want is on the other side of your fear in so many words. Now you're above energy. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So again, this is really going back, and depending on when you watch this, I really do think, even if we talked about this whole week, if we were to go like the prior week, last week of October, if we were to even go back to September when Saturn went direct, if you guys go back to, because this is really like a whole bunch of self-reflection stuff that's going to be required of you guys to get what you want, Scorpio. If you go back to the 29th of September when Saturn went direct, think about what happened towards the ending of September. Take into account what happened the first 4 days of October. What happened the week of the 13th of October? What happened the week leading up to the 31st of October? Look at Mercury retrograde. What has come up since, because Mercury goes direct on the 3rd of November. So and I cannot remember when Mercury started going retrograde. I cannot remember. Was it in September? No, it was October. I think it was like the first couple of days of October. I don't remember for sure, but go back to the day that Mercury started to retrograde and look at that time span and look at what it is that came up for you, or when when Mars went retrograde, what kind of stuff came up for you? Because Saturn goes direct this month too. I keep saying Saturn. Mars goes direct this month too. But it's like, backtrack and look at what things have been consistently coming up, or in conversations when people ask you about a certain relationship or a certain job or your parents or whatever. It's like, what are the things that you kind of avoid or don't want to talk about, right? Because the whole thing that I'm seeing here with this Ace of Cups in the reverse being in you guys above energy, it's speaking of emotional unfulfillment and disappointment and things not panning out the way that you desire. However, it's like, I feel that there's something more to this. Whatever situation it is that went awry towards the ending of October, or even in the month of October, or even as far back as September, if you guys have been kind of carrying that burden up until now, it's like you're being offered an opportunity to free yourself from this. Because I see this, it's not just cyclical, it's also a pattern. So what I'm seeing intuitively with this is you guys may not see a connection between all of these different situations you guys have been through up until now, whether it's all your relationships, friendships, jobs, whatever. but I'm seeing that there's like a thread of consistency from all of them. So even though they've taken different forms in the physical realm, it's almost like it's the same lesson. And it's like all of these things were trying to provoke you to face this conflict that you don't feel comfortable or don't feel as palatable. It's the thing that you skirt away from. So if you can find that pattern in your own life, like, and that's why I say if it's mundane stuff, like, bills are due and you don't like looking at your bank statements because it makes you sad when you look at how much money you have. So it's like just kind of disassociating from it and like, I'm just going to swipe my debit card and hope that I don't get declined type of thing. It could be something as simple as that. It could be something, with relationships, childhood wounds, what have you. But it's more or less saying to me, the root of your lack of fulfillment, the root of the consistent disappointment, and the reason why one feels like they're stuck and can't move forward is because it's a refusal to face this particular conflicting thing, no matter how big or small that is, in so many words. And I also want to say with this too, because there's a full moon in this card with the Ace of Cups. And I'm seeing this more or less with the star. It's like, this is something that can be turned around if this is faced. You know what I'm saying? By the end of November, because the Gemini full moon is on the 30th, and that goes back to the 22nd of May. So let me tell you something. If you're an intention setter, go back to the intentions that you set May 22nd for the Gemini new moon and see how things are popping manifestation wise. Others of you, I would look at that as a point of reflection. Go back to the 22nd of May this year and literally look at relationships, friendships, jobs, whatever you see that has consistently come up. And anytime you feel that you've kind of numbed out or disassociated, it's like pick out those particular situations and start to kind of dig into that, in so many words. And then our possibilities going forward, ain't that something? Child, I know you're lying to me. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, dog. Where Spirit said the buck stops here, Scorpio, the buck stops here. I think the greatest gift that you guys could give yourselves for your birthday is literally this personal work. I kid you not, dude. Because looking at everything that's here, it's like with facing this, literally hope is restored. You guys get a new beginning and it's an entirely new cycle that's starting over in you guys' life. And of course, I always say with solar returns, I look at it as a baby New Year's Eve, even though you guys are close to like the real New Year's Eve, but you get like two back to back, you know what I'm saying? So even if you guys went as far back as your birthday last year, if you literally go back to your birthday last year, and look at how it is that you perceive things to be for the next following year. And granted, it's like, Rona was this year. And of course that threw everyone off kilter, but despite what it is that's happening external to you, it's like our inner stability and security is a totally different deal. You know what I'm saying? So taking that into account, of course, yeah, sure, nothing went the way that any of us thought this year, but it's more being concerned with how you fared in the midst of this. It's like personal goals, what your intentions are for yourself, for your future, like all of these things. It's like the changes that you wanted to make. Do you feel that you've progressed? Do you feel that you've regressed? You know what I mean? But all in all, with this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, this is speaking to me about the 16th of December. Who on earth? I am so sorry, Scorpio. My apologies. I have a telemarketer that's calling me. But anyway, this is talking about Jupiter, and that's the 16th of December, when, blessings abound for everyone. But I feel this is more or less residual energy that you guys are being given an opportunity to clear up. But it's all about self-honesty and facing something it is that you guys fear the most. It's revealing your dominant, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And it's giving you an opportunity to stand up for yourself, to face it, to deal with it, to stop pushing it to the back of your mind, to stop putting it off. And I feel any, blocks or stagnation that you guys are experiencing is really divine protection, because it's like, I feel like this is a habit or a behavior or a way of coping. And I have to use a jargon word. It's maladaptive. Like, it's not helping you. It's hurting you more than anything. And I feel for what lies for you guys rounding out this year in December. This isn't a habit you would want to bring forward because it could potentially, I'm just going to say the word I heard. It could potentially squander that, It's like you could be given a blessing and it can slip through your fingers if this is how you were to continue to cope with things moving forward, in so many words. So don't take the block as like a curse or anything like that. Things aren't moving forward at present because it's just not the right time. And there's something that you guys have been avoiding and not dealing with that you need to finally face in the month of November. And I feel once that's done, you'll feel more empowered, and I feel things will start to open up for you guys moving forward, my friend. So that has been your reading, my wonderful Scorpio. I'm going over to Vimeo, my website, Patreon, and YouTube members to do you guys extended reading. So if you are about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your face. I don't know where this accent is coming from. And I will see you guys sooner than later. Don't judge me, Scorpio. I love your face. Happy birthday.